Vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you people, take a stand.
I'm Esh. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm from Ohio. I'm currently a master's student at Columbia University.
Cool. And my name's Eric, and I'm based in Seattle, Washington, and my pronouns are he, him. And I'm an artist, activist, and I also do software engineering for money.
And my name is Danny Snyder. I'm also an artist activist with the Free the Vaccine campaign, volunteering to help make these videos to inspire our viewers to try out these awesome actions. And I go by she, her, hers as well. So I would love to talk to you guys about these masks that you made, these not face masks, these dream masks that are so beautiful. I was wondering how hard it was to make these masks. I was also wondering who actually made the one in the pictures that are up on the website, because I'm wondering about those viewers who are like, oh, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll answer that because I made it. It was pretty easy. We tried a couple different versions. I was making them with my mom, who does a lot of embroidery, but in the end, I ended up doing it. A quicker way. So they're pretty easy to make. What we did was we bought some masks online, and then I seam ripped it open, and then I just kind of freehand stitched it on it, and then I hand sewed it back together. So didn't actually make it from scratch because I thought it was easier to just use an existing pattern template and then just add in our little personal touch.
What about the boxes as well?
We decided that it'd be nice to put it in a nice box. In the original mock-up, we were talking about like maybe a printed box, but we decided to go more handmade. And so I have a friend who is an art handler who builds boxes for art, stuff like that. So he built a quick box and a lid on it. And then Zeph painted the instructions on top of it. So we end up actually doing like a lot of like handmade things, trying to make it look particularly carefully thought out.
And then, Esh, what was your role in the actual making of the masks and the boxes?
So I went to bed and like we were all talking about what we should do for this researcher so there's a researcher at UCSD who's a sleep researcher. So I was like just scrolling through Pinterest and just trying to think of like some things that might appeal to him specifically, and just like if we choose to pursue this project further, like who else could it appeal to? So then like in my dream, I literally thought of like sleeping masks, and I felt like that was really perfect because it really ties like his role as a sleep researcher during this time and like mental health awareness, because we wanted to promote self-care too when we like sent the package to show that like we care about what they're doing for the community, and also we want to make sure that they're getting involved with self-care as well.
And okay, so I have two questions. The first one I'll do real quick. What was the budget like to make just one mask and box?
I think the masks are really cheap, like $10 for two. Because we just bought them on Amazon. I just found ones that are, I hate to say that because I live in Seattle and people shouldn't shop on Amazon. But we were trying to do a quick turnover, and so we got them, and then they showed up the next day. It was like $10. The box was free. My friend used scrap wood for it. And then the only other cost was Zeph printed out we had a whole letter and a whole like thing to it. And there was also a social media campaign where we were contacting the sleep researcher on Twitter that Esh had come up with it. Because Esh did all of kind of the research for this researcher. We had like split up different researchers. And then we decided that O'Toole was like the best person to target. And then she had this great dream. And then we just decided to try to turn it over as fast as possible. So we turned it over like in a weekend or something. It was really fast.
Wow. I'm wondering, what were the reactions to the mask? Did you get, whether on social media or through emails? Ash, do you maybe want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we sent it out to one researcher at UCSD, and unfortunately we did not get a response. But I mean, for me, like, I don't think like the response mattered as much to us, but like the fact that like we were all working together and we came up with this great idea, and like the fact that like we had like such a nice, like, I don't know, like for me it's like really cool to see how it all worked out in the end, even if we didn't get a response, because we know that we could do the same exact thing for other researchers, because it's such a broad thing. Like self-care is important, and it doesn't just apply to the sleep researcher in particular.
How did you target them on social media? Did you include images of the mask? Or I'm also thinking of like some of these other groups and teams in the Free the Vaccine campaign. They did like photoshops of people, like of their targets with the masks on. Like, did you do anything like that?
We didn't go that elaborate on it. I mean, basically what we did was we found his Twitter and then just tweeted at him and said, I mean, and just like try to contact him that way. And then also try to contact him via email and then sent the box to him. I think that is a good idea, thinking about how maybe we should have used the images of the mask, saying that we're going to send it to him and send him pictures. I don't know. Did you do that, Esh? I wasn't really doing the Twitter.
So I mean, like, going off on that, we also like wrote him a letter and like talked about his research in particular. So like it was like it was like a meaningful connection in a way to like show him that we actually read his research papers. And also on my part, since like I tweeted to him, but I also made an infographic. So like the Twitter was called Free Our Dream, because we had like the dream of like a world where the COVID-19 vaccine is free and like there's access to it all. So we kind of made a play on that, and in that infographic I kind of outlined like, hey, this is our dream, and when you put on the mask which says sleeping well, the vaccine is free, it kind of like alludes to the fact that like they're dreaming about how the vaccine is free. And then like the outside of our box said like,
will you accept our dream?
Will you accept our dream, which was like a play off on like The Bachelor, will you accept our rose?
Oh,
that was Esh's idea too.
I would have never gotten that.
Yeah, but like basically the infographic just kind of like detailed every single like step of what we wanted to do with our action, and just like highlighted the main things, and ultimately basically like ended on the note of like how we wanted to promote self-care during this time of uncertainty and like panic, because the researchers are also like working really hard too.
Yeah. So are you guys going to continue targeting this person? Sorry, what is their name?
Dr. Malhotra.
Are you going to continue targeting them, or are you going to focus on a new target now? Or do you not know? Like everyone's kind of taking a break right now, so.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I think that like since we did try like to target him through the letter, and like we actually did make a mask that was like targeted specifically towards his research as well, I feel like we could probably in the next round like target it towards other researchers, because it doesn't like I said, like it doesn't really apply to just sleep researchers in general. Like it really is a way to show like appreciation for their work, and just like acknowledge again like we care about like them taking care of themselves.
Mm-hmm. You could have a whole line of self-care products. I love this so much. I love Craftivism, and I love the act of giving, being generous. Thank you guys so much for being generous with our targets. And I really hope that you guys get some response from the researcher. And if you do, make sure that you let us know, because we can do a follow-up video.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Yep, you're welcome. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Bye, guys.
Cool.
Thanks.
Bye. Good to see you, Ash.